Ben, episode 31, MetaMentors. I've got one question for you. How do you feel about creepy, clown-like dog balloon figures?
I'm for them.
Good, because you're going to love this project. Shibaverse is the project unaffiliated with Shiba Inu, at least appears that way. Like,
Shiba
we're going to get into this.
Correct.
Yes. Which is part of my hang up with this project. We'll kind of get into there's a lack of clarity to me, but that's also kind of the appeal. That's what they were going for. But before we get into Shibaverse.io, which we're going to cover today, you can jump around down below. Please comment and subscribe. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers.
All right. So first of all, if you're paying attention and if you're watching this soon after we post it, you know that the market is green. In fact, the top 30 projects on Tuesday were all in the green. That's good to see. I know if you're investing in stuff like me and you look at your big project, you're probably still in the red because we've just been going like this. And now this is the first time that we've been up, but everything is up. And that's a big positive. One of the ones we always keep track of for obvious reasons is Ethereum. One of the reasons for Ethereum going up right now is since the merge, things have been continually improving and there's just been nothing but good news coming out of the merge. In fact, I think I read that they've saved over $750 million in mining fees just since the merge. So they used to pay miners for proof of work to run these networks. Now they're doing proof of stake that costs way, way, way less, uses way less electricity. They saved over $750 million in mining fees. When you have miners who are making your coin, they have expenses. They're paying for electricity. There's a pressure for them to sell at least part of what they're making to pay for their expenses to make it. When you don't have that, people can sit on stuff a little bit longer. There isn't the selling pressure that you need. And after a couple of weeks and almost a month now, post-merge, when people realize this isn't going bad, this is doing what it's supposed to, the pressure falls off. Right now, with all the markets down, there's no pressure to sell. And in fact, because that's the case, Ethereum has become deflationary. It's actually getting rid of Ethereum, which means it's more profitable to hold on to it. The more people hold on to it, the bigger the price goes because now people are acquiring less and less. They're acquiring more and more Ethereum that has less and less of a total amount. So the pressure starts to push it up, which is good news. That's part of the reason it's
There's
when
less Ethereum on the market, therefore more demand, basically.
Yeah,
right?
And with Ethereum going up, that kind of brings the rest of the market up. There's been a lot of positive news about Bitcoin in the last couple of weeks. Everything's kind of turning around. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but even Elon Musk, moving into Twitter headquarters, that's positive for the entire crypto market. So there's a lot of good things going on right now. Ethereum is one of the big ones. Tuesday, the same day, I don't think that this was 100% related, but it definitely doesn't hurt the situation. So Business Week, the magazine, released their new issue, and it was a cover-to-cover 40,000 word issue. They've got it online also. Yeah. Excuse me. And cover to cover, one topic only, and it's crypto. It's just basically a 40,000 word essay by one guy that explains crypto from its infancy to where it's at now. The only other time they've done an issue like this was back in 2015, and it was about computer programming. And that only had 38,000 words. So this is kind of a big deal for Business Week to put out this type of an issue, and it's on an industry that now is on the same level, basically, in their eyes, as computer programming and coding, which is pretty intense. So that's obviously got a huge amount of traditional finance followers that read that magazine. And the fact, I think I've got Business Week right here. It's called The Crypto Story by Matt Levine. This is what the cover of the article looks like. They've got it online. We'll put the link below for the entire thing. You can get on there and read 40,000 words. Bring a snack and a drink. It'll take you a while, but it's pretty interesting. You can also go pick up at any newsstand. I don't know if depends on where you're watching this. I don't think I've been to a newsstand since I've left England, but they had them on every corner where you can go pick up the magazines and stuff. I haven't seen one, but I don't leave the house much. So I will read it online, but it's a whole 40,000. It's huge. It's the crypto story. That's big news. That gives a lot of people exposure to not just, the Bitcoin price, but here's a chance to read the whole thing. They've got a huge subscriber base. Even more people use their website and just buy, the pickups at the newspaper stand. So traditional finance got a taste of the whole crypto story. And it just so happened to be on the day that the market really took a jump and everything started coming up. Now, I don't know if it caused it or if it was just really good timing on their part and they're going to ride the wave and get a lot more viewers and probably subscribers. But it is interesting that it all happened on the same day. It's just kind of showing more like what we've been talking about, just institutional interest and investment. This is traditional finance looking for ways to get in here. This is Business Week, which is a pretty big magazine that's talking about it. So pretty cool on that. And then, like I think I said, Elon Musk, this also happened this week. This is big news because everybody knows that Elon Musk is very pro crypto. So I don't even think the deal's officially done yet, but he's officially moved in. They're in the final stages of him buying the majority of Twitter. And so he's now officially, according to his own Twitter account, the head twit. He brought in a sink to, so there's he punned it and said, let that sink in. I'm officially moving in. Let that sink in, which is a pun. But other people were saying that's because he's going to throw everything out except for that kitchen sink. Yeah. So there's a lot of puns that are, he's a showman first and a businessman first and a showman close second. So he's the only person I've ever heard of to buy $44 billion worth of a business and then show up first day with a kitchen sink. That's
all
pretty.
All grins too. Yeah, I mean, he's and he just no pressure spending 44 billion. Like this guy, like you said, he's a showman. He knows it by all stretch of the imagination. He knows exactly what he's up to.
Yeah. So Twitter's up. The stock price of Twitter is up. People, except for the people working at Twitter, people love Elon Musk. So it's good news. And as far as the crypto market, again, it's more good news this week because everybody knows that Elon loves crypto. Tesla owns a lot of Bitcoin. I know it wasn't that long ago that they officially stopped accepting Bitcoin as payment, but they still have a lot of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They're kind of, I was going to say a minor example of the MicroStrategy example where they're stocking their books with Bitcoin because there's no better way to hold on to extra cash than in a deal like that. That's not property, that's not taxable, that's not, it's just a big old fat chunk of money that hopefully is going to hold their value and continue to grow. So people are wondering if he's going to be doing that, if Twitter's going to be actually having a sizable interest in Bitcoin coming up, the company, the corporate Twitter. But he's also a big fan and some of his messages got leaked out a couple weeks ago about talking about having a specific crypto wallet for Twitter, being able to, pay with your crypto wallet to tweet or to tweet at your favorite celebrity, payments, memberships, all sorts of stuff. He's looking to do it through the crypto and Web3 as well as actually base Twitter on the blockchain, have, forever records, the database of Twitter being stored and built on the blockchain. It's just positive news, because having a guy like that take over a business like this, you just know it's going somewhere good. He's always talked about Doge. Every time he talks in the bull market about Doge, the price goes crazy. So it went up, I think, more than double. I think I have the Dogecoin price here. Here's what it did. This is the last 7 days. Let's see. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So that's the last 7 days of Dogecoin. He comes in, let's see, it's the 27th of Thursday, so it's about the 25th. So yeah, right about here, he comes into Twitter's headquarters right there, and it took off because people know that he likes Doge for an online payment source. And if Twitter's going to be jumping immediately into the crypto space, Doge is a big player. So that jumped way up. That's always awesome. All right. We do have a couple of so Elon's in. That's good news. We do have some bad news. Somebody has figured out or has come across some disturbing news. One, the good news is that McDonald's is bringing back their McRib. It's a limited time only, and this is probably, they said, this might be its swan song. It might be on its way out.
Oh, man.
But somebody did bring up and found this chart right here. This was on Twitter, that every time McDonald's brings out the McRib, it's the start of or in the middle of a boom in the economy.
Bull.
So, so it goes back, and I think, every one of these is shooting up. So I don't know when the McRib, I don't know if it's officially out. Like it says, October 31st, and it's the last one. So I don't know if that's ominous or if that's positive. Is this going to be the biggest jump ever because it's the last one? Or is it bad news, like because they're not going to be bringing the McRib back anymore, if this is the start of the end for the economy as a whole? I thought that was super interesting because they've got all the dates marked here. I'll post this tweet. I'll post this tweet in our description below, and you can go take a look at it and actually look at all the dates. Everything lines up. It's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, because it's the final farewell, I've got this bad feeling about it. And then also on Twitter, I had it confirmed that there's a good chance we're getting ready to go into a major recession, because somebody also looked up that every time a Philadelphia baseball team wins the World Series, a major financial crisis happens. And this is accurate over the last 100 years. They've locked it up here, where in 1929, which was, of course, the Great Depression, the Philadelphia Athletics won the World Series. Then in 1980 was a big one. Phillies won the World Series. 2008 was obviously the Big Short crash. The Phillies won the World Series. And they haven't won the World Series yet, but I did find that I don't follow baseball too much, but it's the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Houston Astros. First game starts tomorrow. We could be 4 games away from with that, and with them no longer selling the McRib, this could be the biggest financial crisis of the last 100 years. I have nothing to live for, Ben. I don't know. It just doesn't sound too positive. I know we got some green in the crypto. Maybe this is the time that it officially decouples and the traditional markets go to hell and crypto becomes the savior we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, because there has been a lot of positive coming out lately. So we seem to be, I don't know, it seems to be plateauing. So like you said, is it going to take off or is it going to tank? And depending on who you listen to,
This
Could be them.
is the hard-hitting news that you tune into the MetaMentors for. You didn't know that this was the McRibs' last run, or that Philadelphia Phillies being in the World Series could possibly trigger the world's biggest recession. But this is what you get when you follow the MetaMentors.
Yeah,
So
it's documented.
yeah, it's happening. Timestamp it. It's October 27th right now. If Phillies win, we're all going to the toilet. So go Houston.
Yeah, go Houston. Man, scary stuff. What are you going to do? All you can do is try to take the knowledge that we're giving you along with hopefully much better information and do something positive with it. On to Shibaverse IO, not to be confused with other Shiba projects going on. This is not directly connected to Shiba Inu, although it's a part of it. This is separate. So you have this. So into the story, the background, always an integral part of where this is coming from. And I have mixed opinions on this project based on that. So this guy, Ryoshi, I say guy, as far as I know, it's a guy, maybe it's a gal. Ryoshi is a decentralized nut, loves the decentralization, has some really notable catchphrases and analogies and ways of living, and so has been very popular amongst the decentralization. Also, the person who created Shiba Inu, the actual token, as kind of basically a spoof and to challenge the Dogecoin.
Basically a meme of a meme. Yes.
Yeah, meme of a meme. Yeah, try to follow along. Meme of a meme. And it takes off, and it appears by all stretch that it's a lot of because of his, I don't even know how to describe it, almost his laid back attitude, his decentralized attitude, where he's not looking for fame, he's not looking for notoriety, he's looking to improve the world, likes what was done with Bitcoin, sees what's happening with Dogecoin, creates the Shiba Inu coin. Long story short, this project is born based off some quotes of Ryoshi here, and I'm going to show some quotes as we get into the white paper. But earlier this year, I think it was May, Ryoshi just completely disappears off the map. He removes his Twitter account or his history of tweets. He's still here on Twitter, but he's basically just gone. He pulls a vanishing act, kind of like Satoshi. Except Satoshi, is even more so. But Ryoshi's kind of doing the same thing.
Satoshi is always in our hearts. He's never actually gone.
No,
everybody knows that.
He is the lifeblood of everything Bitcoin and crypto. So we're getting into the story. So here's a little bit of the story of Shibaverse. When you come to a point, so this came from Ryoshi. Obviously, here's a quote. When you come to an appointed place at the appointed time and meet some person, introduce yourself as Ryoshi. If they do the same, then you know that you have met a special person. I don't think that's a bad saying. You know exactly who you're dealing with. Well, at least have an idea that you're going to have some things in common when you start there. Here in America, we kind of laugh at, ancient sayings like this, Asian sayings, but a lot of these are really pretty cool. So this group, they decide to start this Shibaverse, and this is, as I said, does it not say it? Oh, there it is. Our story. So again, I'm not going to read this. You can go in and find this under the Shibaverse IO. You can see it here. It's actually under the blog post. But essentially, a group of people, actually it starts with two people. They're having coffee. They're talking about all the things that are wrong with the world, all the cool things that are coming out of decentralization, Web3, crypto, and all that. And they basically decide they want to do something about it. They want to create their own metaverse. And they decide to create this Shibaverse because they're big fans of Ryoshi. Ryoshi created the Shiba Inu coin. So therefore, they start this Shibaverse IO. And they, like Ryoshi and Satoshi want to remain anonymous. So nobody knows who these people are that actually started it. They don't want to claim any fame. They claim that they don't own any tokens. And the cool thing about blockchain is you can actually verify that. You can actually see if they own any. What is the token? Verse.
Verse for Shibaverse, it's verse, VERSE.
Which is one of the things that a lot of people are upset about and is kind of not great about this project. Probably a good reason for it, but it doesn't use the Shiba Inu coin, right, at least in majority of its ecosystem. It's a whole nother coin verse, which kind of complicates things. But reading here, with Shiba, we have from the beginning made very clear that no one is in charge. There is no man accountable, no person responsible, and no entity has the keys to the kingdom. Sounds really cool, but then in my brain, well, if things go screwy, who's responsible for this project also? So that kind of gets the wheels turning of, well, I like the idea that you're not going to take any notoriety and you're not going to take any tokens and you're going to give it all back to the community, but we also don't know who you are to be held responsible for this project also, or maybe a better word is to depend on for this project. And if I'm going to invest in, I kind of like to know more about who's backing this project. So this goes into a little bit of the story I was telling you about. They're having coffee. They start this project. Let's jump over to the white paper now,
which is also prominently available on the Shibaverse.io website. They've got a great website, very easy to get around. So yeah, this white paper also well put together, very organized, very easy to read, but very long. So yeah, if you're looking into this project, come in with some time, because there's between this and the Business Week article or the whole magazine, you got some homework this week.
Yeah, and some of the previous the Twitter threads we've been throwing out there have been great information in the prior ones. But so here's the motivation behind the project. We believe that living in a world where communities can make a difference is essential, as we are stronger when we unite with a common purpose. The core team consists of 3 people with varying backgrounds: blockchain, architecture, design, and marketing. We are neither Shiba Inu developers nor admins. So just some citizens that want to make a difference. Here is the Ryoshi quote. With Shiba, we have from the beginning made very clear that no one is in charge. There is no man accountable, no person responsible, and no entity has the keys to the kingdom. That doesn't boast a lot of confidence for me. I like the idea. I understand what they're saying. But again, there is no man accountable, no person responsible.
Yeah, well, you're like the type of person that would have stayed on the East Coast back when people were going to the West Coast, when it was all up to you. There was nobody accountable. It was like, you just go over there. That's what it's like right now. They've basically opened the door for you to go west. But once you cross the Mississippi, you're on your own. There's no, you can, get out with your tail between your legs if you have to. But once you're out in there, the beauty is they've got a DAO that they're creating, which is the Decentralized Autonomous Organization. So you will be able to partner up with people. You will be able to start cities. You will be able to find communities within this. But they're just saying the West is open. You can go there, but it is what you make it. It's as dangerous as you let it become. These groups of people, you can turn it into whatever you want. There's something super unique about that there isn't somebody to go, hold on. You can't do that. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff, but you can't do that. They're not doing that. It's whatever happens. They've absolutely opened the door and said, go make it whatever you want. And that's pretty cool, because so many people like you and I couldn't start a project like this, but we can probably participate in a project like this. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even know where to start by getting to get one off the ground. But if there are people that are like, hey, and they've got the Shiba Academy, they've got stuff in there where you can go and learn about not just Shiba, but crypto and Web3 and whole. So there are opportunities for you to learn and to kind of figure out what you're doing in there. But yeah, it is completely user controlled, and the way I understand it, the majority wins. So if they create a DAO and they decide to make some changes, then it's just going to be what the group as a whole decides, not the people who originally made it. So
yeah, and obviously that's what they're stating there. And in all fairness, which you just kind of pointed, I'm definitely more. I like more structure. I like we go from A to B to C. I don't have to do that, but if I can see that process happening, I feel more comfortable. As where this is, at least in writing, it's very broad. Now, when we start showing some of the project, they're clearly on to something. So I'm pointing out, obviously, the story, the team, the stuff. The story's great. That's fun. That's interesting. That gives a reason. Just not seeing some of the structure I like to see. Here's some of the, here's the three main people that have made this organization and some of their backgrounds. I'm not going to read that. But I am going to jump into some of the actual properties and buildings here. Oh, there we go. I saved it at the front. So one of the things that this Shibaverse, their architecture, their design, they're making it, I guess you call it really realistic, like buildings and stuff that you can identify. It's on the ocean side. Like it's very appealing, and their videos are really good. And they've got these roughly 300 residential spaces that the land sale's coming up for like ultra quick here in the next week or couple weeks. And then you have like 30 commercial spaces that are for collaborating and building and just hanging out and social stuff. And a couple of the prize ones are, you have this one called Falcon 9 here.
Live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to find the right...
Dang, I still
sorry,
haven't upgraded.
Ryan doesn't have YouTube Premium.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like Elon would be into that one. So you've got that. I'm not quite sure what that's all supposed to be about. And then you got like this collaboration area, Wolf Walk. Nice fish aquarium. So the graphics on these are looking really pretty cool. The Genesis district, like this is the main district here.
Right.
It's probably, I take it this is like the spawning zone where you're going to be to start out.
They've got parking stalls.
Some VR hints, obviously. So they've, again, this is on their YouTube channel. They've got several different, they've got like this train station, some of the building tours. They've got this NFT music community. I don't quite understand this part of the project, but they're throwing some big names around. Like they've already got Death Row Records on board. Oops. Anyways, some kind of cool structures and ideas they're throwing around. A lot of it's built around collaboration and doing things together. There's also this really, let me show you the map here. So you've got this rough drawing of the actual map here. You can kind of, this is the ocean area, and you've got these buildings, some commercial spaces. The Genesis area is the main area that we were just looking at. I guess you'll start from. And then last but not least, I came across this one at the last minute, and this looked really pretty promising. Find it. Oh, I forgot about this one too. So these are some of the Genesis homes here. Whoa.
I like that one.
There's only like 5 of these that are like special design.
I'll take it. Schwanky.
So yeah. The music is excellent with this project. And the last one I want to show you is the commercial space for the Shiba swap part of their business.
What's that called? Shiba Square?
Is that what it is? Shiba City. Here it is.
Shiba City.
Unfortunately, I didn't find any video, but this is a picture of it. Has a zoo, Shiba Academy, some villas, more villas, but the picture is really pretty cool. And there were some other pictures of it too, but this one I thought was exceptionally well done. Leaves a lot open to the imagination. The last thing I'll show you with the land is where you can actually buy some of it. So here's some of the live auction sites. As you can see, some of these are, I mean, you got 15,000 USDT here. Here's one for 7,000, 6,500. So fairly pricey pieces of property. There's not very many of them. Here you get into some of the actual NFTs, the Shibaverse balloon NFTs, which are kind of creative. They're not creepy at all. That was unfair of me trying to work in some Halloween themed stuff. These are these are verse 55,000 verse. That's not USDT. So big price difference there. And then
Current price of verse is 1/3 of 1 cent. So you do some quick math on that. They're still expensive, but not terrible.
Yeah. Depending on how much you want to be involved with the project.
Right.
And their utility for that is they cover some of that in the white paper, but they'll get into that more. But you can find all this stuff on Shibaverse. This is I feel like we've been saying this a lot, but this is another example, and you said it already. This project is really, there's a lot to it, a lot to explore. So you really just got to if this is something that interests you, you got to get in here and actually explore around and look at it and read some of the stuff on it, because they are attempting to do quite a few things all at once. But that's really what I had on the land and of course the story portion of it.
I don't think the only other thing I had to talk about, well, I guess they had like the Shiba Academy and the Shiba Studio. I think they had 3 main points to the point of the project, and it was like entertain, figure out a way to extract financial value out of the ecosystem for Shiba holders and the Shiba community, and teach and educate. And so the Shiba Academy and I think the Shiba Studio was the other one in the project, where they kind of directed it towards teenagers or younger people. They're really aiming for the future. You could find advice, guidance, and mentorship on how to be more financially secure, develop their skills in areas like design and coding, and just learn more about the blockchain industry. So there really isn't a game in the Shibaverse. There is experiences. There'll be ways for you to stake your coins, make some money. There'll be things for you to do. It'll be interacting, collaborating. They had the music area, and then learning about not just Shiba, the Shiba project, but everything else, which seems to be a pretty common thread with a lot of these metaverse projects. And without being disparaging, that's kind of what I got from this whole thing was, yeah, this is just like a lot of these projects. There's nothing that really sets it aside except for its community, which is a very active. It's like Dogecoin. It may be very active in the bull markets. I don't know how active it is right now, but Shiba was a very popular token, and it's so hard because they're making, a million meme coins, a month when times are good. So it's really hard to stand out. And Shiba did the hard part, which was stand out. They've got a community. This is being built by not just somebody who helped make the token, but by the community as a whole. And there's enough people in here that are doing this project that are making it happen. A lot of the meme coins did not get the following that Shiba Inu did. And this one does. And maybe that's the only thing that sets it apart, because like you were saying, and like we were talking about,
we save more than 30 hours a week.
Sorry, buddy. I was trying to run some background while you're talking.
All right. Just do it without volume. And no commercials, no free advertisements. But there doesn't appear to be a lot different. It doesn't have something that really makes it stand out. It's basically based in the real world, with real world architecture, with real world art. The only thing different is the fantasy, Shiba balloons that are the balloon character dogs that you can use. So I definitely have some Shiba Inu, and I'll probably buy some Verse because I like projects that I can stake. And just because I'm not familiar, or I'm not really feeling this one, like if I was going to get in on just a metaverse project that had some music and had some, some areas to get educated and some capabilities to stake your coins and do stuff like that, I really liked Blocktopia, the 21 floor, super mall. I like that art better. There's no point in me jumping into a metaverse that looks exactly like what it looks like right outside my window right now. It doesn't excite me if there's nothing else different. So maybe their community will bring, maybe if they bring in the right people, maybe if they eventually have a reason to draw me in, I might be more involved. But right now, like I said, I'll probably buy a small chunk of Verse. I already have quite a bit of Shiba Inu, but I'll get some Verse, stake it, and then just see what happens. That's how I like to do almost every project that I'm not going to get an active role in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and you eloquently said that. You said that much more eloquently than I was, and I'm glad to hear you, because they built it this way so it's more familiar, and they thought that would attract people, and maybe it does. It's almost a little bit unattractive to me. I do like the familiarity of it, but it is almost a little bit unattractive because I'm excited about the new ventures and that's happening different than we already know. And so that was kind of the feeling I had on it also. But they are, what they're out doing, they seem to be doing well.
Yeah. And that's what they are doing well. And I know that as soon as I write a project off, that's going to be the one that goes nuts. That's why it's like, if we're going over this and I'm looking into it and I'm seeing this much work done to it, I'm going to have my toes in it at least a little bit. I'm going to have some sort of money in it, because this is probably the one that'll go nuts. And I'm just like, well, I don't get it, but I don't get anything in this project, like that's so I'll have a little bit in there. But like Ryan was saying, there's a couple of things that kind of throw up the flags. One, this is a decentralized project, so this is an official metaverse of the Shiba Inu community. Well, right after they launched, then it was announced that there's an even more official, unofficial metaverse of the Shiba Inu community, and it's going to be called TheMetaMentors, unaffiliated with Shiba Inu, the coin, and Shiba, the Shibaverse, which is the one we were just going over. And they've got a whole bunch of more tokens. They've got the leash token, the bone token. And I think they do use Shiba Inu as well, but they're not officially affiliated with the project. So it's like this one, there's just a lot going on, and there's a lot of people that are riding the success of the Shiba Inu name. In fact, when I was looking for the Shiba price, on some of these projects, one, you could see the chart here. This is the Shiba Inu price. This is obviously back in November, late October, November of last year when everything was hot. Its price was still ridiculously small. It was 0.00007 cents. So it was way down there, but the market cap was over $30 billion. So it was very popular at a time. You can see what it's done since then, which has just fallen off. So if you're looking for, that's the Shiba Inu price. And if you're looking for anything else, SHIB, SHIB, there's over 100 results. And it's Shiba Inu, Shina Predator, Bone Shiba Swap, King Shiba, Shiba Vac, Shib Nobi, Keela Shiba Inu, Nitro. You know what I mean? Like we talk about this all the time with projects where they, like Ember Sword had two coins that sounded like they could be affiliated with the project. This has 100+. So when we're talking about this stuff, in fact, a couple of days after Ryan and I decided to do the Shibaverse, we came to the realization that there was more than one Shiba Inu metaverse, and we had to get that cleared up. So, I mean, this is why this area is the Wild West. You don't know what's behind the next door. You don't know what project. These two projects could have similar names. One could have an $850,000 market cap. One could have a $30 billion market cap. So it's two completely different projects with two completely different futures ahead of them. Make sure you don't dump your wad into the project that's not the one that you're hoping for. You know what I mean? Because it's very easy to do that. And I think on this channel, we're learning. Ryan and I are learning, and we're also trying to bring in some of this stuff to let you guys know it. And well, Arcade Land was a perfect example. We were both looking up wrong arcade land. You know what I mean? Not wrong arcade lands, but different arcade lands. And it's like, this is happening all the time until there really starts to be some standalone names in the metaverse industry. If anything gets any traction, it's very easy to just jump in and go, oh, we're Shiba Inu Gold, or we're Shiba Inu Platinum, or Shiba Plat. You can make up anything. So it's very important to make sure you're looking at the right project when you're doing this stuff. The Verse token. So the project we're looking at today is called the Shibaverse, and it's shibaverse.io. It's unofficial, but a very popular one among the actual Shiba Inu community. So it's neither one is official because it's a decentralized project. So none of them are really affiliated with the Shiba Inu coin, which was created like Dogecoin with no central authority in mind. It was just created as basically a meme coin and a meme of a meme at that. So the Shibaverse token, that's the native utility token for the Shibaverse.io website that we're looking at today. It's had a similar run as everything else, very popular last November, basically downhill since then with a couple of bumps upwards when they get some good news. Right now it's gradually going back up, but I think that's just the nature of the market right now. So Verse is that token. If you go to the Shibaverse website, it breaks down a little bit of what you need to know. It's an ERC20 token. Most of our stuff that we look at that's on the Ethereum network. It's only got 1 billion in the total supply. It's got some reserved in the back for later on in the project for rewards, game rewards, in-game, ways to reward creators, developers, and people who are helping grow the project. So you will be able to stake it. I think they've got some sort of mining and stuff like that. You'll be able to earn it when you have these Shiba balloons. When you have certain NFTs, you'll be paid for in the Verse token. It's the main one for this project. Its current price is, like I told Ryan, it's a third of a penny. And its fully diluted market cap right now is 3,600,000. It was launched on Shiba Swap. And in fact, I think you can only get it on the swaps. It's not on any main exchange. You can get it on Shiba Swap or Sushi Swap or Pancake Swap. But launched in August of 2021.
Yeah.
All-time high was 6 cents. So that's a 20x from where it's at right now. That was just a couple months later in November. And it'll be used, like I said, for the play-to-earn mechanics, and you'll be able to earn income with it on staking. That is the token for the Shibaverse. If we ever decide to get into Shib.io, which is the Shib metaverse, the more official, unofficial one, they've got a whole crap load of other tokens on there that they'll be using Shib, then they do Leash, and then they have Bone, and then they're using Shibarium, which is like their own Polygon. It's a layer 2 that sits on top of Ethereum that makes the transactions cost very little or nothing. So there's a lot going on in both of these projects. Your options, if you want to get into this one immediately, like Ryan pointed out, there are some NFTs, there's some land available, or you could just buy the Verse token, and you could find a spot to stake them on any of your decentralized wallets. And eventually they'll have it actually in the Shibaverse. You'll be able to go to their financial district and stake your Verse token. That's probably what I'll do. What I'm doing is not necessarily what's best for you. I know a lot of these projects that I'm getting into are not going to succeed. I'm only hoping that one of them does, and it does enough to make up for all the rest. So you got to do your own research. You got to kind of start figuring out what your investment strategy is. Ryan's is a little bit safer. He's looking for the good projects, the ones that look like they'll have a good return, and he's going to be like we've talked recently this week about how Bitcoin needs to be more of both of our investments. We need to have more stuff like that, because if we do 1,000 of these small projects and all of them go to crap and Bitcoin keeps going, then we've really shot ourselves in the foot. So we need to both be getting more into Bitcoin, but I like having a little bit of money in a lot of projects, and Ryan likes investing a more solid investment into better projects.
Yeah, more focused.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with either of them. You got to kind of pick your. I'm more of a gambler, I think. So, and Ryan's more of an investor. He's more business minded. So that's why at the beginning of all these type of videos, our videos and everything else you see on YouTube, they say, "Hey, this isn't financial advice," because I don't know what your situation is, and I don't recommend anybody investing the way I invest. If you were gonna follow anybody, and you shouldn't, it should be Ryan's. It should be Ryan's method, but it definitely shouldn't be mine. So do your own research on these. And we're gonna keep bringing you projects. We're gonna keep finding stuff, even if it may not be something that we do invest in. We're going to try to find as many of these projects that are investable as possible. So maybe Ryan and I both go, no, this isn't one for us. And you find something that you do like. Let us know if it goes your way, because actually that'll probably be, maybe you can invest exactly the opposite of what Ryan and I do. Maybe that'd be a good plan. But we're building up this channel. Hopefully this is the start of a good bull run, or at least the stop of the bear run, hopefully, or the bear market. Hopefully we level out, if not turn around and go back. But the plan is for this YouTube channel to really be a point of coming together for a lot of people, from any background, but especially us who are kind of a little bit past the wave. We're not the 17-year-olds that understand what all this is doing. We're trying to learn it and then present it to the audience in a way that normal people with normal jobs will understand. There's a lot of 17 to 25-year-olds that have never had a job and will never have a job the way that we've had a job, because they'll be able to work and make money and play games and play to earn on these type of projects. And we're trying to not completely miss the boat, and we want to bring along as many people as possible. So as the market heats up, as these projects get bigger, as some of them drop off and some of them get better and bigger and more elaborate, we're going to be right there sticking in and following them. So if you're interested in that, if that sounds like the point of view that you want to be learning about these projects from, you see the banner down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe is the big one, because the more points of view we have coming in on the comments, the more people we have interacting with us, the more directions we know which way to go, or the more
perspectives we have on it.
The more perspective, so the more specific direction we know which way to go. So maybe stuff like Shibaverse isn't a project that we'll cover again. Maybe we'll stick more towards the gaming, or maybe we'll stick more towards DeFi. But while we're in the down market and things are slow and we have the time, we're trying to look at as many projects and get our eyes on as many potential 1,000Xers as possible.
Yeah, isn't that the point? You don't know if you're interested until you explore it some, and then you can decide, okay, yeah, not interested, or I'll put this on the shelf, or I got to get me a piece of this now.
Yeah, so you're getting an hour, in an hour to an hour and a half, you're getting about a week's worth of research between Ryan and I trying to figure out. Of course, this week, the first 2 days was making sure we were looking at the right project. But then after that, we buckled down and you're just getting it presented to you in a pretty easy, and we're available for questions, for comments. If you have anything that you're curious about, we may have already read about it. We may not have brought it up on this episode, but we might have an answer. So shoot us a comment below, or an email to TheMetaMentors at gmail.com. I'll put that across the screen right now. And we're in the same boat you probably are. We're trying to figure this out, and we're trying to capitalize on it before it's too late.
Have some fun doing it.
And have some fun doing it. Yeah. When we definitely want to get in on some of these projects, because if we weren't interested in any of these projects, this wouldn't be the industry that we'd be looking at investing in. Some of these are really interesting. Some of these got a lot of mechanics that really look exciting, and I can't wait to get in some of them. No offense again to Shibaverse and Facebook Horizons, but I don't. They're not that exciting. Like I said, I'm probably signing my own death warrant. This will probably go to the moon tomorrow. But
yeah.
But yeah, if there's a project that you know of that we haven't covered that you'd like us to cover, leave us a comment, shoot us an email. We're looking for good projects.